Of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM. And this is Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. And we have an interview segment coming up now, presented by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Of course, one of the great organizations in Indiana County and in Indiana Borough is the Indiana Arts Council. And they are getting ready for their annual membership drive, it looks like. So joining us on the phone right now is David Ferguson, who is the president of Indiana Arts Council. David, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Yourself, sir?
Not too bad.
All right. So let's reacquaint Indiana with what the IAC does.
The Indiana Arts Council does what they can to try and elevate the arts within the area, within the region. And we support collaborations between local artists and IUP, and we try to present a wide variety of arts programming to the community. COVID-19 kind of took a bite out of a lot of our usual things. Usually the Delaney Chevrolet West Sylvania Jazz and Blues Festival happens on the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. That didn't happen this year. Same thing for the Youth Arts Showcase out at the Indiana Mall. That involved student artwork from, hundreds of student artists from all over the county. We weren't able to do that this year. We were able to put on a theater workshop at the Indiana Free Library.
Nice.
And there were about 20 kids that were involved in that. That was back in February, so we were able to get that done before quarantine. But most recently, we have been doing a series of films for free there in Memorial Park. We had, last week, we had the movie Our Town, and last night we had a great showing for Coco, and that was sponsored by Mark Arbuckle Nissan, who's a fantastic supporter of the arts, and a good crowd came out, wonderful night, and a great movie in a great space. So, that was Wednesday night. Next week in Memorial Park, we'll have the movie Harriet. And that's going to be sponsored by the NAACP and the Underground Railroad Museum in Blairsville and the Center for Community Growth.
Considering the success of those movies, are you going to probably plan some more before the weather starts turning cold?
You know, we haven't discussed adding movies this year, but we have discussed making it an annual thing, having a summer movie series there in Memorial Park. It really is a nice place just in the middle of town there. And for us, I mean, some of the we made some programming choices around that too. You know, Harriet centers on the life of Harriet Tubman, who was a conductor on the Underground Railroad, and Memorial Park was a stop on the Underground Railroad. So, and same thing with Coco. Coco deals with the afterlife. And here we are in the cemetery.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, it was kind of a fun thing to do, and we're really looking at doing more of that in the future.
And of course, our town dealing with life in a very small town I'm trying to remember the name. I know it's something Corners.
Grover's Corners.
Grover's Corners. Yeah. So life there could have been like
Thornton Wilder play.
It could have been what life could have been in Indiana, PA back in the day. Who knows?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
So on the strength of that and the strength of these of the outdoor events, is there anything else on the pike maybe that could possibly happen this year, or are you guys still planning some stuff out?
Absolutely, yeah. Kathy Patterson is a local artist and art educator. And she, once the lockdown happened, she came up with this great idea. She found a bunch of chairs that were for sale, and she was thinking about some of the things that Pittsburgh has done, you know, with the Take a Chair program. And she was able to get some generous donors to help her purchase 150 chairs.
Wow.
And then she just put the notice out there to area artists, come pick up a chair, and you decorate it how you want. We'll reconvene them later on, and then we'll have an auction, and that auction will be a fundraiser for both the Indiana Arts Council and ICAP, the local food bank. So far, 100 chairs have been painted, and on August 16th, Anthony Fraser is going to be taking photos of all the chairs, and then that's going to be compiled on a website for an online auction that's going to be taking place October 9th through 16th. And at that time, all the chairs will be on display at the Indiana Mall as well.
Okay.
So that's something that we've come up with some really interesting, innovative ways to still make arts happen within this quarantined environment. And it was a way for a lot of the folks to kind of cope with the isolation of quarantine. So it's a great project.
I do want to go back. You had mentioned the Student Art Showcase over at the Indiana Mall.
Yeah.
And since you mentioned that you were going to put these chairs on display at the mall, is there going to be a chance for these students who were going to take part in the Student Showcase to get the chance to show off their art?
Well, I'm not sure at all. There's a lot of variance in terms of what school is going to look like in the fall. A lot of that varies by district, and then the art making that would happen. I'm sure that there are students who have some fantastic art out there. Unfortunately, our conduit to receiving that comes through the art teachers, and they may not have the same kind of regular contact with their students as they might have had if they had in-face instruction. So I'm not sure about that, but it's not a bad idea to maybe put a call out to see about student artwork that may be out there.
And I thought as well, maybe you might be willing to put it up as a digital format, maybe as a Facebook album or something like that.
That's a good idea.
All right. Well, also, membership drive is starting up pretty soon, right?
Yeah. That fall for a lot of organizations, they start looking at membership, and we would love to have as many people and organizations as possible join our ranks. I mean, we are an entirely volunteer organization. We don't have any professional staff, and that comes with its advantages and disadvantages. We've got a pretty low overhead, but it's always better if we have many hands to make light work.
All right. So, how can people get in touch with you to become a volunteer or a member of the Arts Council?
Oh, thank you very much. Yes. Go to indianaartscouncil.org, and there's information on membership and ways to contact us. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of us.
You're listening to Indiana in the Morning here on WCCS. I'm Josh Woodison. We're talking with Dave Ferguson, president of the Indiana Arts Council, talking about how they've been working through the coronavirus situation and their upcoming chair fundraiser, and also ways that people can be a part of the Indiana Arts Council. So in this time of coronavirus, I know that you probably have, the organization, has probably been taking a look at how they can do different events, and we just gave a couple of ideas out there. Are there any other events that are coming up on the schedule that may have had to have been altered because of coronavirus concerns?
One was kind of put on pause, and that was a youth writing competition, focusing on creative writing, and that was probably going to be done through an electronic format anyway. I think that that will probably go forward a little bit later on in the fall.
Okay, so after the school year starts.
Yeah, exactly. Same kind of issue as with the art students. Some of the creative writing students. It would be through an integration and collaboration with English teachers in the area. So that is something that we're we're looking at.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad to see that creative writing is being included in that process. I remember, I know this wasn't an event that was affiliated with the IAC, but I remember taking part in the Young Writers Conference back at the junior high school back in the day. So I'm glad to see creative writing coming to the forefront in that regard. So a lot of other things. Let's talk about all the way down the road. I know we can't predict how this world is going to be in 2021 at this point in time, but are you guys thinking about 2021 events, maybe bringing back the Westlvania Jazz and Blues Festival?
Yeah, that's definitely something that we would like to do. And we'd like to have the Youth Art Showcase as well. I think that, the movie thing ended up starting as an adaptation, a chance to be socially distanced and outdoors and safe, but still bring some quality art to residents. I think that's, I wouldn't call it an innovation, but something that we probably wouldn't have done if it weren't for the quarantine. Same thing for the Artful Chair. So I think that even if we are still under a COVID-19 environment, I think we'll still be coming up with some interesting ways to promote the arts within the county.
I think it's a great thing you guys do. David Ferguson, thank you very much for joining us on Indiana in the Morning this morning. We're just about up to the mark. Thanks again, and please stop back anytime.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. David Ferguson of the Indiana Arts Council joining us this morning here on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank, and our interviews are presented by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And we've got more coming up here on Indiana in the Morning.